You all are unmuted, you
I
schloopy
hate
queens.
that word so much.
Well, is it like moist?
The voice doesn't bother me as much.
Schloop
Wait,
just
it's
sounds
not?
weird. It sounds like a child's like onomatopoeia. Going down like a slide. But thank you. Welcome everybody. I'm Obsidia. I am everybody's favorite Death Knight and the DM of our game tonight. Welcome to episode 36 of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. We're gonna go around the table as is traditions to doing introductions. Litro is away from the table currently, so he will be popping in later with his big hype announcement for you all. But I think, and then we're gonna go do a brief session recap, and we're gonna jump right in here. So without further ado, it's Paige the Mage.
That's me. Hi everyone, my name is Illya. I'm an Elven Princess Knight. Do a lot of JRPGs, do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons with these wonderful people, and I play the local time cat wizard here. So always excited to be here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Julia. I'm now imagining an art piece of a cat wearing a wizard hat with like a Flava Flav clock chain around her neck.
Yelling timer, let go.
Yep.
I love it. I love it so
Is this
much.
the Page 2.0 we've all been waiting for?
Yes.
Thank you, Julia. Next up, we have Illya.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lily. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Lily Faywood. Tonight I am playing Illya, the extremely fake court, mumbo-jumboed sorcerer, mama bear, whatever you know, lots of different things. But happy to be here tonight. Happy to play some D&D with these lovely folks. And yeah, that's what I got.
Thank you, silly Lily. Next up, we have Lady Euphoria, emphasis on the cocks.
Hello, everyone. I am Maris, and yes, tonight I will be playing everyone's favorite sultry southern mom, Euphoria Cox. And yeah, not much going on in my realm of content creation or lack thereof, so I'm just happy to be here, be queer, and play D&D with my friends.
I do believe that there is a hype thing about you that has recently occurred. Is that correct?
Yeah, your boy graduated human school, so I got a shiny piece of paper with my achievements on it, and that's pretty hype. So now that school is done, I actually have time for other stuff, and I'm super hyped. So streams maybe, yeah.
Hell yeah. We love to see it. Big congrats to our smartest little boy.
Thank you.
And I will be
Smartest, biggest boy.
and I'll be using your free time to probably conscript you to D&D.
Yay!
And next up for now is Cess, the best. Let's go.
I'm not last for once. Hey. Hi, I'm Sif, I'm the knight. I play game, I do art. Nothing's really changed. But I'm here. I play cat and I love you all tons.
Thank you, Sif. All right, everybody. While we wait for Litro to return, I'll be giving you the brief session recap. Previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. Malral decided to reach out to Paige to, after having heard so much about her time vision, looking into the past and seeing people's past, that he wanted to try and have her trigger it willingly, and help him see his past as well as an opportunity to say a goodbye that he never got to do for his long dead family. Paige reluctantly agreed at first and proceeded to enter Malral's final memory he had of his wife and son. Paige got to see them in all of their adorable goblin and goblin dragon glory. And it was a rather heartbreaking affair for Malral, but then he did the one thing that I specifically told Paige never to do, which is he started to interfere with the past. In, with the best of intentions at his heart, but he proceeded to try and interact with his wife and son and get an opportunity to say goodbye. And as he did that, his wife begged and pleaded for him to stay, for he knew what was going to happen to them, and his memory began collapsing in on itself as unexpected events began to occur prematurely and consuming her, much like the fiery inferno following a nuclear bomb in Terminator 2. Paige was able to pull back to return to the present. Unfortunately, she didn't give a detailed enough explanation to Malral about how to do that, and Malral proceeded to become lost in his own psyche for a while and suffered the repeated tragedy of witnessing some of the worst things occurring to his family that he actually never saw in his own timeline. And only with a great effort of will was he able to return to the present. Really just a skill issue. And determined that going into the past was a huge mistake, and he is sorry he did it. Paige, on the other hand, had a very different takeaway from that, which was that she learned how to control time more. And she was excited to be able to do it again. Paige then went off to do a solo trip to Sharn, Paige, Cat in the City, where she talked to her professor, who was a little predisposed with a certain Durgar coach of Cess. And her professor explained that she was likely having a very strong connection to the timeline through unknown means. She might just be a natural prodigy. She also seemed to have a high level of exposure to magical radiation that she could not explain. Furthermore, Paige's professor reiterated that Paige should never try and view more than a few seconds into the future because of her deep connections to the present and desire to change what will come to pass, that it will inevitably hurt her and lead her astray if she tries to go into it. We all know that this advice will likely be relevant later, and definitely not an ominous sign of things to come. Furthermore, Paige began researching Sylvana at Morgrave University, where Sylvana claimed to have attended, but so there was no record of a Sylvana Lael ever attending. And in fact, the 2 degrees that Sylvana stated that she had gotten in her time at Morgrave had only been achieved once before, over 60 years ago, by a human woman named Myrmidia Oris, who was a child prodigy who graduated with 2 PhDs at the age of 16, before leaving and later marrying the man who would become the Lord Artificer of the Kingdom of Seer, one Leos Decaneth, who Paige also learned was in charge of Seer's weapons development program during the war. But there was very little about what he actually did aside from public releases, and there were no further records of anything relating to his wife after their marriage. She also found the last dissertation that was written by Myrmidia, which discussed the nature of drawing energy from the lines between planes where they interact and the mixing of energies, although it's a bit above her pay grade. And Paige then proceeded to not find any information about Project Hope and what it may have entailed or what the symbol potentially was on Sylvana's hand while she was inside of the crystal. With that, she returned home and brought back some pizza for everybody. And she learned more about the daelkyr and about how they're vile abominations of the Underdark, and people who try to use their bio-arcana inevitably are mutated or go insane by doing it, according to her professor. Her professor also proceeded to absolutely just shit on her sister over and over again. But yeah, and so with that, we'll be picking up with the post-dinner of the pizza feast. And I'm sorry, guys, I forgot about this because it wasn't in my notes. Illya decided to reach out to a Sharn who had been suffering inside their room for the last week and a half. And after a prolonged discussion about explaining how they were valid and loved, even if they didn't feel that way, that they eventually left their room and showed their true form to Illya and the rest of the party with all of their angelic, radiant scars and tattoos on their body inflicted on them by the Seeker. And they think that maybe there is a hope for a future, and maybe there is the ability to be happy. Little do they know that is a filthy lie in my campaign. Now we will begin with post-dinner time. Paige, I believe you wish to talk to some people.
Yes, I do. Never mind the cookie in my mouth.
If you give a cat a cookie.
Okay. Yes. She would like to talk to her sister, first of all.
Also, I just need to briefly address this. We are 36 episodes into this campaign, and I just found out Paige has a last name.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's not relevant. We don't have parents.
Yep. I just love that.
That's fine.
36 I should say. And I've got she has a last name. All right. So Paige, as you reach out to Sass, what do you do?
Okay, so it's probably early that morning that she's had time to like sleep and process what's been occurring the past couple days. And probably just trying to find where she is, not sure exactly where Sess is hanging out.
Now that Spike the Goo Dog is more confident enough to eat around other people, I'd like to imagine like Sez and Spike are in the kitchen with Lily. Like Sez is like feeding them different things and eating with them, like big mouth open, funny little image. And Lily's like, "I'm feeding a jacket now." Lily's just processing that, and Sez is there eating pancakes with Spike, trying to figure out what they like and stuff.
Okay. She'll probably notice that she'll be standing probably at like the entrance of the kitchen, kind of watching them for a second before kind of clearing her throat for a second. Be like, Sess, can do you have a minute? Could I know you're eating, but do you think we could talk for a second?
Yeah, sure. Just hold on. And like Sez wraps up the last pancake like a burrito. Spike does the same, and they just swallow it down and then head over to Paige. So, what's up? Did you want to speak in private or like what? Because we got a backyard, we got a rooms upstairs, you know.
Yeah, why don't we go outside for a second? I think I need some fresh air.
Okay. You all right? You were in Sharn for like a little bit, so like I don't blame you for wanting fresh air. It's not exactly the freshest back home, so.
Yeah, I think I know. I didn't realize how much fresh air there actually was until you're outside the city. But I think we should go outside.
Okay. Lead the way. Lead the way.
She'll kind of reach for her hand and take it and head outside. And
Mm-hmm.
once they're out there, she'll be kind of quiet for a few seconds. She'll be pacing around a little bit.
Link says just sitting on the bench watching her sister pace back and forth for like a solid 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. There's something that I really wanted to talk to you about, and it's really important that you listen to what I say, okay?
Okay.
Says, it's about your new friend, your jacket.
Their name is Spike. You know this, yes, and like says it sort of like holding her jacket like a little dog, like a little pile of goo in her arms.
Right, Spike. Of course, I know. While I was in Sharn, I did a little bit of digging about what Spike is. And everything that I came across, everything that I learned about it, it's not safe, Sess. It's really, really dangerous. and there have been no accounts of anything good coming out of it. I'm just really worried about you, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
How long have I had Spike for?
In a while, but
And you're bringing this up now?
I mean, at first it seemed fine, but I had a vision, a weird dream involving Sylvana, and the it was mentioned, so I wanted to know more about it, and it I just didn't find anything good about it, though.
Listen, I get the concern. You are not the first person to come to me with this. Sylvana was very clear on the hazards and dangers of using daelkyr armaments, and I'm pretty sure everyone else in the family has given me a weird look saying I can hear my jacket talk to me. But outside of gaslighting me, and don't Spike, I know you're fucking gaslighting me. Uh, nothing's happened, okay? And if it is bad, I mean, I think we've been dealing with it so far. The line of work we do is very inherently dangerous, and well, when I use Spike, chances of coming back are much higher. I mean, have you seen what I can do when Spike, does his thing? Yeah. Besides, if it's taken this long for anyone to really bring it up, it shouldn't really matter.
It should matter. I mean, there's going to be a point where you're not going to be able to control it anymore. I mean, you could think that, but it's like inviting a wild animal into your house, trying to raise it as a pet. I mean, eventually, its instincts are still there. It'll still, something bad would eventually happen.
Well, it's a fairly good thing he's not wild. I quite literally have forged him into something I can use.
There,
And
there have been other people, uh, not saying you're not smart and you're not capable, but
I mean,
wiser and
you
more
can say
knowledgeable
those things
people.
if you want.
No, of course not. I don't think that at all. I think you're very smart, and but it's always ended up bad for people, and I just don't want you to be a statistic. I don't want you ended up the same way.
Statistics are nothing to the individual. I mean, on average, 1 in 20 people die due to a Featherfall token accident back home, but that didn't happen to any of us when we were in Sharn.
This
And
is
then,
this is every person says. There have been no successful records.
I don't
It's
know. Listen.
oh,
I've used Spike this entire time, and it has been nothing but beneficial outside of the awkwardness they create. And I'm used to being stared at weirdly. I'm used to people assuming the worst out of my actions, so I'm very content with using them still. They've not done anything harmful so far, and I don't feel like they've changed me in any way, shape, or form. I feel like every action I've done so far is my own. And I'm pretty sure when the daelkyr starts taking over, it is incredibly obvious from the descriptions I heard from Sylvana and Oathgold. Okay? You don't have to worry about me. Spike's been taking good care of me.
I mean, Ike isn't your sister. I am. I'm. I'm not trying to attack you. I would never, but I, I just don't think it's a good idea. It's. I mean, when Juby started changing, and she said the same thing. She's, nothing is wrong with her, but she was changing, and I think you might be too.
The only change that happened to Juby is that she saw an opportunity which made her choose certain decisions, okay? Spike here just says my name really fucking weirdly. They have not offered me anything like becoming an archfey or sacrificing anybody or anything like that. They have just been here. Okay? That's all they've done. And the only reason why I treat them so nice is I don't exactly feel good at making a sentient creature fight alongside us when that might not be something they want. Okay? When I get hurt, Spike gets hurt. And They seem fine with it, but I can't help but feel a little bad. That's why I'm actively nice to them. That's why I'm so willing to meet them halfway. All right? You haven't been using them. You don't know what it's like. All right? And
You know it's bad. Why even do it? I mean, you are capable and strong all by yourself. You don't need that.
you're the one with glasses on, so you should have been able to see this, but the only reason I've been doing so well is because of Spike. Sure, I've been going down the same rate, but I've been doing a whole lot more with the time I've been up.
Find something else. It doesn't have to be just Spike. There's plenty of other items. There's other things that we can do.
And the time we search for getting that, maybe someone else goes out, you know? Maybe someone else leaves when the decision isn't in their hand, yeah?
Why do it if you know it's dangerous? If you know you can eventually get hurt?
If it gets that bad? Well, one, given our track record of the last person who had something like this happen, Paint, we saved them just fine. Are you afraid you guys can't do the same for me?
I mean, yes, but why would we ever need to if we just prevent it from happening in the first place? I
Like,
don't think you're being
is not.
reasonable.
None of this is reasonable, okay? We go out on a near regular basis, risking our lives for gold that just goes right back into the same system that beats us up. Okay? Expecting any amount of reasonableness from this is just not right. It's just not how it works. Okay? So yes, if Spike is a problem, if this turns into something worse, I will gladly take them off. But so far they haven't. And so far they've been working. We haven't had to use as many potions. We haven't had to having to go down more than once or twice so far. Okay? Until we're out of this system, until we're out of this stupid goddamn mess, I will keep using Spike.
I mean, I've never been able to tell you otherwise, so I just don't want to have to tell you I told you so. I don't want to see you hurt.
That's a real funny thought, given how every time we've gone out there, I've been a little more than hurt. Yeah.
Oh, I am.
I don't get why you're bringing this up now, though. It's been months since we've started. It's been a little over a month since I've gotten Spike. 2 months, maybe. Time is weird.
Doesn't mean I haven't
Why?
been concerned about it this whole time, and I didn't want to approach you unless I knew everything I could about it. I didn't want to just say it was just based on a feeling. I wanted to have proof. I needed evidence. And that's why I'm coming to you now about it. Before it gets any worse.
Listen, I talked to Sylvana and Oath Gold and other people about Spike when I first got him. And I heard the same statistics. I heard the same fears.
You're just gonna do it anyway.
I don't know what to tell you. If your concern is of me getting hurt, well, I've been getting hurt. So that concern should already be gone. If your concern is something awful happening to me, that's why I have all of you. When Illya was in her darkest place, we were there for her. When Paint nearly lost themselves, we were there for them. And sure as hell, if Juby gave us that chance, we'd be there for her. But she like tears up a little bit after saying the last one. Whatever happens to me, I hope you'll all be there. Help me out when it happens. But Nothing's happened yet outside of another mouth to feed and gaslighting me. Okay? I really wish you could hear them speak. I really wish you could just talk to them, to Spike. But I know they're not going to be able to talk to anybody else. I know you're all going to assume the worst every time I shift in with him. But that's all. I'm using him because I have to use him, and I'm trying to make the most of it.
I mean, I knew talking wasn't going to change anything, but I just wanted to let you know how I felt. I'm sorry that you feel like you have to rely on him. But whatever happens, I will be there to protect you too. We all will.
I know. And your words do have effects on me. I mean, I figured everyone would be concerned in the first place. That's why I'm trying to be friendly to them.
I don't know if friendship's gonna work, Sass. But you do what you think is right.
You do too, sis. You do too. Says, scoops up Spike, but she doesn't put him on, and sort of trods off back into the house.
Just kicks the dirt underneath her. No tears, nothing like that, just balled fist and breathing really hard outside before eventually just coming back in, maybe like 20 minutes later.
Okay. Is there any other conversations you wish to have?
Yeah, she still wants to talk to Sylvana. So if she's around in her room or...
Yeah, Sylvana is just kind of hanging out in Kai-Shen's room. She's kind of fiddling with something as her spider bot hands her things as she works on it.
Pokes her head in for a second and looks over like, oh, Sylvana, I had a quick question if you don't mind.
Oh, of course, just give me one moment. And she puts down some tools she was working with and kind of rubs her gloves against her pants and kind of stands up and goes, yeah, what can I help you with, Paige?
I went back to Sharn a little bit a couple days ago to check in with my teacher and whatnot, and I was curious about what degrees you were specialized in again. I admittedly wanted to try to talk to some of your professors because I was kind of interested in what you were studying, but none of them really remembered much about you being around.
Savannah kind of looks a bit quizzically at you and goes, I don't understand why they wouldn't remember me.
I mean, there's a lot of students and whatnot. I'm sure it probably just like didn't cross their mind right away.
She kind of does a half like forced laugh and goes, yes, of course, that's probably it. You know how academics are.
Right, of course. What was it that you got your degree in again?
I received 2 PhDs. I had a PhD in autonomous locomotive constructs as well as in planar cosmology with an emphasis in multi-planar theory. I graduated when I was 16, so I felt like I would have made more of an impression, but oh well.
You know, it's really funny you mentioned that because I think I did see another name that had the same degree. Did does Oris, the last name Oris, ring a bell at all?
Oris? I can't say I've heard of an Oris before.
Maybe a. Uh, what about a Leos? Does that maybe ring a bell?
Leos. Could you provide me some more information?
Well, I mean, he was the Lord Artificer about the house to Kenneth.
Oh, yes. Lord Artificer Leos de Kenneth. Of course I've heard of him. I am Siren, after all. And any artificer worth their salt knew about the Lord Artificer's work during the war.
I heard he was married though. Did you know anything about his wife? Because I think she was the one that had the same degree as you.
That's ridiculous. As far as I was aware, I was the only person to ever graduated with that degree.
I need a perception check, please. All right, I
Roll
need to roll
roll an insight there, Paige.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Where is it? I haven't rolled insight in so long. Okay, there it is.
Okay. Weirdly enough, she seems to be telling the truth. In that sense. She is clearly being truthful that she, as far as she's aware, she's the only person to graduate with that combo of degrees. She does seem to be holding something back, but she seems to be very, like, genuinely confused about this. Because I assumed he was married, but I don't know anything about his wife. Much less because if he was married to her and she had those degrees, it would have been long before I attended Morgrave, and obviously I would have heard of her.
But yeah, I think it may have been like 60 years or something. And obviously, I mean, you and I are almost the same age, so it'd be kind of strange, to be honest.
Yeah. I just imagine those magical books must have, been some rogue arcane intelligence or something, perhaps trying to play tricks on you.
Probably it. I know. It's sorry if it was such a weird question. I was thinking about it while I was in Sharn, so I wanted to ask since I know we went there to, around the same time.
Yes, I appreciate you, following up with me about it. I guess I'll have to contact them about their records apparently being quite poorly maintained.
You would think for such a sophisticated school that they would be more organized, but I guess some things occasionally slip through the cracks.
Yes, clearly.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to disturb you. I just was curious and all. I just had to, get it out.
I understand. I'm just curious, Paige.
Hmm?
What else
Yeah?
did you look into while you were in Morgrave?
Oh, not too much in particular. I just wanted to, speak to my teacher a bit more and finding stuff about, Cess with her jacket and all of that.
Um, ah, I see. Well, I hope you got some answers. I tried to tell Cess that that jacket was a bad idea. You shouldn't deal with daelkyr bioarcana. It's never a good idea. But she didn't listen to me, and it's her life. I'm just a artificer and very familiar with arcane lore, but regardless.
Just her sister, but she's got a hard head, so there's not much in there. But I mean, at least I wanted to hear the facts from someone else, so that's mainly why I went there.
Sylvana's gonna take a couple steps towards you and kind of, get in fairly close proximity to you. And she'll put one of her hands on your shoulder, and she'll look you in the eye and say, "Well, maybe next time when you go to Moorgrave, you could just ask me about who my professors were and all of that information, and I'm sure that I could provide you more directed sources." It's a bit and she look at you a bit hard as she says that.
You're right. I'm sorry. I was just there, and I just got a little curious. I, you're right. Next time I'll definitely come to you and get to know you better from the source.
I'm always happy to talk to you, Paige.
She's gonna kind of take her hand and put it on Sylvana's and kind of slip her hand off of her shoulder in like a casual way to kind of just like be like she's holding her hand.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
No. Just poked my curiosity. I couldn't sleep until I talked to you about it. So
Well, then I'm happy I can help you rest easier at night, and of course, I'm always happy to see you in your dreams.
I dream about you a lot. So okay, I'm gonna go help Lily in the kitchen. So
All right. Well, if you ever want to come and help with some of my construction, I'm always happy to have you. But tell Lily I said hi.
yes, of course. Okay. Bye then. She's just gonna jolt out of there.
All right. So with this, so with that, do you have any other people you wish to talk to, Paige?
Dude, I got a lot of processing to do.
Alrighty. So with that, a few days goes by, and you guys get an arcanogram. Specifically, it's addressed to Paige and Cess, but it does say and to Rose Gold et al. And when you look at it, it is from House de Sivis, is looking to retain your services for a contract in Sharn. You always happy to go back to Sharn.
Yeah.
Sharn Gaming.
It's real Sharn gamer hours.
I'm in Sharn W, baby.
And this one is actually one of the least cryptic contract postings you've gotten. It is speaking rather directly that you are being requested to be the entourage / like subtext bodyguards of a House Sivis scion who's going to be attending a charity fundraiser in Sharn.
Okay. Paige will definitely address and let everyone else read it too.
Do we gotta dress fancy, or are we bodyguards, or is it, what does entourage mean?
Entourage usually means you are a guest of sort, although being the bodyguard means you also have to be not only dressed to impress, but dressed to dissuade problems.
Combat skirts, got it.
The arcanogram like unrolls a bit further and says, suitable garb accentuating your equipment is requested, and if unable to be provided by yourselves, the contractor or the contract host will pay for them themselves when you arrive in Sharn.
They'll
Oh
pay for
boy, another
our drip.
shopping episode.
Yes, they'll pay for your fancy clothes. That go
Accentuate our what?
your
Our weapons.
your equipment,
Our
basically.
equipment.
Assets.
So that you can wear your armor and everything, but you're dressing fancily as well.
Upper Sham, like the top crust, a blank check there is a lot. Like, a lot.
One of the benefits of being a magic user means that we don't have to compromise fashion for these kind of things. I'll just probably wear what I wore to the Fey ball. Keep it nice and simple.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear. Oh god.
No, we already did get clothes. I mean, it would be strange just to wear it once and never again, right?
But
Euphoria
listen,
looks around awkwardly.
I was about to say, Euphoria probably has thoughts on that.
Listen, Paige, Illya, do you know how nice it is to have a wardrobe full of dresses? Like we've got Paige and I, we for sure only have the nice ones we got here, and then like a pair of really scrumpy prom dresses back home. This is another dress.
Oh, absolutely. Takes the opportunity if you would like, but
Yeah, and darling, not to be rude, but you've been wearing a school uniform every day that I've seen you. Maybe change it up a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, it's comfortable and it's, I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. But
There are plenty of options for comfort and style.
yeah, well, maybe you're right. That maybe I should change it up a little bit. Okay, that's fine.
If we're concerned about fashion, well, I mean, we got to figure out who else we're bringing on this job. Seems like we need 6 people. I could see either Kaishan or Laryssa looking real nice. To, tie off our entourage. I'm not saying I want to look at hot people.
not exactly a negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think given the situation, we should take Laryssa.
do you think bringing? Listen, I love Laryssa. She's a real peach, but she has a bit of what we call in the profession a blabbermouth. Do you really think it's a good idea to bring her to an event with the
upper crust?
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the other end of the spectrum then. If you want to call Laryssa like a very shiny, like jingly dagger, everyone's gonna look at it. It's a pain in the ass. Kaishan would be a very blunt object, obtuse even. Very. What I'm trying to say is, no matter who we're picking, it'll be very uncomfortable with them around the upper crust. I mean, makes
In
sense.
that case, I'd probably pick the one that does the least talking, but that is my input.
Hey, did this letter mention who else is going to be there, by the way?
Well, it is a fancy charity fundraiser. It doesn't the initial posting doesn't say specifically who will be there, but presumably when you get to Sharn, they will provide you more information. It does say that you'll be paid 1,000 gold each for one night. Easy money.
We are dealing with the upper crust. if you're dealing with the upper crust here of Sharn, then is there any chance that your ex-husband might be attending?
Oh, certainly, but I mean, that's just how it goes, isn't it?
We get to see Orion's kitties again. And
No,
hey, Maggie.
they don't normally bring the children to a fundraiser.
That's fucking lame. I guess kids wouldn't want to be there either, actually.
It's probably past their bedtime.
Yeah.
Paige, do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, I enjoy both of their companies. I feel like Laryssa, in terms of a fancy outing, would fit in. She could even help for a distraction if we need it.
Now that I can agree with.
If anything, I think that she could provide enough socializing to at least allow some of us to potentially scope out the area for any potential other investments to make, if you catch what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all are worried about us so bad, we could always assign one of
I
us
mean,
on
if
babysitting
she
duty.
wants to, of course. I mean,
Of course.
it's all,
Well,
whether or not she wants to or not.
you make a good case. I think that I can agree with this.
Very well.
I'll go ask her. Gets up, moves into the next room. Hey, Laryssa, do you want to go to a fancy ball?
Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's get a fucking drink, bitches.
Ah.
Oh, well, now we've missed out the opportunity to see Mr. Zhao in a suit, but that's all right.
Well, we could say that we weren't sure who we were bringing, and we got outfits for everybody, and we could have Kai Shen, Sharn, and Sylvana try stuff on when we get back. If y'all want a little fashion show when we get back.
That's a delightful, deceptive idea.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, they gave us a blank check. We could do what we want with this, and it's like it's a drop in their pockets.
Laryssa comes bopping in, like, so where we going?
We're going to a charity function in Sharn. High and fancy to do.
Oh, nice. That means we could probably swindle them out of money.
I believe the money is meant to go to other purposes. And we do have a job to do. We got to keep an eye out on things, make sure there's no trouble.
Oh, yeah, like...
So it wouldn't look good if we were the trouble.
Now, if you wanted to encourage them to tip us for our hard work, I'd be opposed to,
Oh my god, they, like, tip us? Hell yeah.
It is possible, but I must ask that everybody lay off of the alcohol, even though we are at a party. If something does need to be done, we should be on full focus.
I am, like, always, like, 100%, like, on point, and, like, oh my god, I'd be going around, and, like, I'd have a couple drinks in me, and then, like, I could totally, like, fly home safe. It's not, like, a big deal. Like, I'm just as good, just as competent. Some say I'm, like, more fun, which I doubt, because I don't think that's possible. I think I'm pretty damn fun, like, normally. However, people have, like, dumb opinions. And so I think the real takeaway from this is that we really need to understand that people have dumb opinions. This is my TED Talk.
You certainly have a clear mind.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Hold on, let me get the Malral sock puppet out really quick, because I think he would say, and don't forget she has the bird's eye view. I'm gonna take the sock puppet off here. We literally would have wanted it this way.
Yeah, I always have bird's eye view. I've got bird eyes. Duh.
Okay, pretty bird.
Seems we are agreed on all fronts.
Okay. When do we have to go today? Are we taking the train? Are we?
You will have basically 3 days beforehand. So it takes you a day to have to get there.
So we should go as soon as we can, so we have maximum shopping trip time, is what I'm hearing.
Sure.
Yeah?
You do realize that when you look at, just kind of the calendar of how this lines up, this charity fundraiser will be falling on Repose Day, which is basically the Memorial Day commemorating the end of the last war. So it's the 4th annual Repose Day.
Okay.
Just a fun fact.
Yeah, don't worry about that. There's nothing
Yeah,
to worry
yeah.
about with that.
Bro, listen, do you think the rich care about what happens to us, the war, etc.? I don't think any of it's really going to matter outside of a few nobles polishing their quote-unquote war medals.
I don't know. Every
Should
time
be
we've
fine.
tried to do something bad happens.
Yeah, no, that 1,000 gold reward is it smells so bad, but it's also 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold away from those rich peoples that you disdain so much.
Listen, I never said I was noble. I myself am probably a shit stain on the carpet, but I can call out other people for it.
Well, you may have 2 noble folks in your presence, but that does not mean that we're not above the law.
So you guys
no, I
want
like you.
tips?
Oh, darling, I'm nobility in formalities only, so
I suppose I've been stripped of my title too, from what the Banshee said, so.
Yeah, you guys are cool now.
oh, thank you.
Just
I mean, you probably
now.
always. I mean, you were literally cool the entire time we've met you. So
I do appreciate that.
Is that a ice joke?
It
oh god,
was.
it's infecting me.
Oh, you're becoming
Forget
like
Spike.
him
This was the real
now.
contamination.
You gonna get the gut too?
Mm. Besides Euphoria, we know what we feel, how we feel about cool things in here. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Anyways, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go start packing.
Huh?
Okay, I'll get packed.
Yeah, I'll tell Lily and stuff what to take care of while we're gone and junk like that. It's a short entourage. We won't be gone for like a month, like in Feywild time. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Or so
Is there
you
anything else you
think.
guys wanted to do? Oh god, no obs.
Yeah, is there any final prep anyone wants to do before they take the train to Sharn?
Like a day and a half, right?
Yep.
Okay. We're saving mage armor for later.
I
No,
think
I'm just making cast before we go in there.
I think for Illya, this is mostly just a hand wave thing, but they would probably go in and make sure that Sharn is doing all right,
Yeah,
and just like kind of let them know that we'll be back in a few days, and all that stuff.
gotcha.
Lily's got your favorite dino nuggets in the fridge if you get hungry.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Not a child, they say, as they later eat dino nuggies.
Instructions for how to grill a cheese,
We left some frozen hot dogs in the fridge, thawing out. It's too fucking real.
All right, yeah, and with that, you guys can depart heading to Sharn. Unless you want to do anything on the train, you will safely arrive there. Yeah, so upon arriving, you are instructed to meet your point of contact at the Gold Dragon Inn.
Yeah,
Deja vu.
we got the swanky place again.
Yeah.
You got big swank
Yeah.
hours.
I remember the last time we were here.
Been a few months.
Yeah.
Texting LD.
Ayo, LD, I'm in the neighbor.
Yo, come on down to the Lower District, fam. Get you a big pasta dinner. Extra garlic bread.
Homemade. I ain't letting the Golden Dragon in touch our fucking food while we're here. I'll make it. Yeah.
But yeah, so there is that same little peppy halfling girl in her little business outfit, who will greet you along with the ogre in a suit standing inside, just looking tough as she holds her little scrying screen as she looks up at you guys. Hello, welcome to the Gold Dragon Inn.
It's nice to see you again. Thank you for having us.
It's always a pleasure to see you, Miss Page.
Do you guys want a room, or should we eat first, or?
We can do both at the same time. I mean, it's the Gold Dragon Inn, right? Like, don't the rooms do the thing where we can have our room and then a room that turns into like our own dining space too?
If that is what you desire, it can be arranged. Your room has been booked for the next 2 days. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And, yes.
Okay, listen. So we hit on a contract order and like says sort of just like scoops like the paperwork out of like Paige's bag, and it's like, okay, so right here, we had to be told we had to be given outfits and dresses. So we were wondering if you could contact I believe insert name of a famous tailor in Sharn. I'll let you pick obs. To eventually come to our rooms tonight so that we can get tailored for our outfits. It's a blank check from whoever gave us this contract, so I assume money is no problem.
Oh, absolutely. It has been noted that your stay is reserved here on behalf of the directorate and funded by House Sivis. I can make an appointment for you later for Zaramani.
Man, we got fantasy Armani here.
Nice.
We are looking forward to it. I'm assuming they'll bring everything they could need as long as some, as well as some example and sample outfits and stuff. So you take care of it. We'll be up in our living space.
Absolutely, Miss Seth.
Okay. All right, gang. Let's head up and set up.
All right. You each get handed your wand keys to take you to your pocket planes where your rooms are. And yeah.
Specifically going to ask that it doesn't look like the same setup we had last time, especially considering it was with paint.
Oof.
Yeah, bad memories. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can get your room to be differently set up. Your communal rooms can be differently structured as well as your individual rooms. This time it'll be the first time with the cats having separate rooms.
Can we connect all of our rooms to like one communal room for ease of like hand waving the tailoring stuff,
Sure,
whatever.
if you want, I don't care.
Yeah, cool.
Big room.
Big living room with everyone in it. That sounds nice. Like those hotel rooms that are just like one massive suite and then a bunch of personal rooms. Like, God, I always wanted to be in one of those.
Okay. Yeah, that'll all be arranged. And once you guys have settled in, an arcane intelligence will appear. Actually, this one's just a spirit. It's not arcane intelligence. The spirit will appear and start creating illusionary examples of outfits, as well as there is a gnome who is providing like fabric samples and showing you glamour weave cloth, which is basically it's illusionary cloth. It's cloth that projects like different colors. Like it can do movement. It's like a live 2D cloth.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd imagine with these outfits, since we're going so upper crust, it'd be like the Hunger Games when like they're literally
it's
given
basically
those.
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to design yourself specific outfits, you can.
We should also, get some outfit designs back for Kai, Shen, Sharn, Sylvana, Lily. We can hand wave those. But, while we got a blank check,
You're
What
really
are we up for?
Yeah,
Listen.
Malral is back.
Don't worry, I kept the singular pun up while you were gone.
Unbelievable.
But yes, you guys have accepted a job, or you've responded to a job offer to go to a charity fundraiser tomorrow night for House Sivis as entourage, paying 1,000 gold each. And you're staying in the Gold Dragon Inn.
1,000 gold each. Oh my.
Spicy. Clearly easy money.
totally.
All right, I got an outfit in mind for Sez.
Okay.
Another black and white dress, but like the dress is like more like a robe that's wrapped around her, so that Spike gets more free movement. And the white is like these very like simple geometrical spikes that pop up, but it's like those holographic images like kids have, so like different people will see a different amount of spikes trail along her depending on depending on their perspectives. It fucks with your eyes.
Okay. Seth's going with the bamboozle.
Mm-hmm. Gotta keep them interested, you know.
Euphoria.
Go ahead.
I'm assuming Illya was wearing the same thing.
If we're gonna do this, I'm gonna do something different.
All
Why
right,
not?
all right.
That's right. Break it out.
Unless you are ready to go, Maris. I don't know.
I'm deciding between two ideas, so you go ahead.
Okay, cool. So Illya is choosing a nice long black dress with a high split that down the leg, purely the left leg with like sort of like a ruffle pattern that exposes it. Open shoulders with kind of like the basically just like the sleeves for that, but it just kind of like basically just very much lifts the chest to accentuate all of that as well as accentuate their legs as much as possible.
Va va boom.
Ba-ba-boom.
Paige, do you have any dress preferences?
Yeah, I was definitely just quickly Googling something. But instead of like the kind of short dress that she had that kind of like flared out and long in the back, it's almost entirely lace this time. It's longer, but it has like that really long slit that almost goes up to like her hips.
Y'all be so slutty in your fine attire.
Of course.
It's just accentuating the legs. Everything else is covered. Like her arms are covered, like all the way up to her neck is covered. It's only just like the legs that are like that you can see.
We know Paige is all legs anyway, so
yeah, she's all legs.
About to say that. It's like we know Paige has the best legs, so
yeah, everything else is really modest except just like legs.
All right, nice hat furry legs with the tail wagging. Let's go. Euphoria.
So Euphoria's outfit is going to, at first glance look deceptively simple. It's kind of like a ladies' cut style tuxedo, but it is tailored to absolute perfection. Like this is clearly something that is made only for her to wear. And but it's got like this deep cut shawl collar, showing off the girls a little bit. But yes, she's wearing a very, very snazzy, tailored tuxedo.
Okay. I like it. Very hell-takery. And Malral, do you have a fancy attire to accentuate your cast iron armor, basically?
What is showing is basically a penguin tux with a full-on like I don't know if you guys know I don't know the official name, but I remember everyone calling it a dicky. Where it's just like
like a cravat almost.
Yeah. Just like I don't know, something weird with a bow tie and a big white thing that you wrapped around your neck, and long black coat.
Okay.
And he is round like a big fat penguin.
You'll love to see it. The Penguin movie just recently rebranded to be more in line with the D&D movie. All right, and Laryssa will have her mithril plate and stuff.
Wait for Laryssa, yay!
Yep, she was voted in. With a long lounge singer of sequined, high slitted, because all the girls gotta have their high slitted gowns. With a sorry, what?
I would say it's the way to go.
Yeah. With elbow length gloves and a nice like peacock feather. What's it called? Kind of like insert into her hair of like a whole frilled out peacock feather setup. as a headdress. All right. You all look very, very dapper. And you were all so cute. So after you're all getting garbed, is there anything you want to do for downtime before you meet with your POC?
Checking out the food, the food table.
Obviously, Cess is making it, and it's delish.
Yes.
If no one else wishes to do anything downtime,
I feel like I've been zoned out for so long. I don't know exactly where I am.
You're in Sharn, waiting for your point of contact for your upcoming charity ball gig to arrive. So
I was told we are in the Gold Dragon Inn.
Yep.
Just waiting.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of which, hey Malral, as you're resting and stuff in your room, you notice as you're changing, you have something you obviously shouldn't have because you haven't seen it in a very long time. But you have a very small little practice beginner smithing hammer in your pocket. You have no idea how it got there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Malral sees this and he actually he's picking it up and he's curious about it for a second before realizing exactly what it is, and in a start, and he just drops it and takes a step back from it like it's a poisonous snake.
It thumps on the ground. And it sits there on the ground. Okay. As you deal with that, you will have the ability to interact with it further if you're so inclined, or you just leave it in the room. What's the worst that could happen?
Malral slowly goes over and sorry, my fire alarm was going off. I didn't want Twitch chat to hear that.
It's a charming sound.
But yeah, Malral slowly edges closer to it. And
we edging in here. I can give you a pause while your fire alarm is continuing. Just let me know when it's done. But yeah, you guys will have at some point in the future, you will have a very dapper fella come to meet you in your central rooms, and it is a little gnome who looks somewhat familiar to Paige and Cess, but looks utterly unfamiliar to everyone else. And so he will be, in your central room as you're all greeting each other, or as you're all getting together. And he's got his big Hosue Sivis insignia on his little little tuxedo, and he will look up at you all and be like, "It's a pleasure to see you all again. It's been far too long. I hope you're doing well, Rose Gold. It seems that there's been a bit of turnover in your organization, but I am still happy I was able to get you guys requested."
Oh, well, thank you so much for hiring us. What it seems to be it was, the letter was vague, but could you clarify it a bit more?
Oh, yeah, it's quite simple. For those of you who are unfamiliar with my greatness, my name is... I'm Lord Ziklos Ekinitus Jingleheimer-Schmidt to Sivis. It's a pleasure to see you all. A few months ago, these two wonderful ladies, along with their companions at the time, one of them looked a lot like you, but she was shorter and curlier. They kind of saved my bacon when our lightning rail was attacked. damn good security. So I felt like, with everything that's been going on, I could probably pay it forward a little bit, especially in light of the fact that, you guys are kind of celebrities around here. So, I'd be honored if you guys would accompany me to the charity ball tonight on the Goliath.
The Goliath?
Oh, yeah, it's the world's largest airship that House Leander just finished constructing. It's going to be its maiden voyage.
I see. Yes, now that you've clarified, that does sound familiar. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Given that it's the 4th anniversary of, the war ending and all that, does the charity have to do with that, or, like, is it just charity in general, and we're mainly celebrating the ship's maiden voyage?
Well, if you ask House Leander, it's probably more of the latter. It's a bit of a glamour project for them. But, this is erstwhile for the purposes of raising money for orphans and war veterans across the kingdoms.
Sounds nice, though.
Yeah, it's normally held in Sharn in the upper towers, but in light of the recent creation of the Goliath, House Leander lobbied pretty hard to get it to be hosted in the side of their ship.
I don't like to presume that something could go awry, but with this being, as important as an event as it is, considering the date and the maiden voyage, is there anything particularly we should be aware of or cautious of?
Well, I don't know who would want to interfere with it. It's just a charity event. People from all the different houses are going to be there. Some foreign dignitaries. Just some well-to-dos in general, and of course their subsequent entourages. Like, it seems bizarre to me that anybody would want to interfere with something like that, but I assume that House Thrashk is going to be doing a thorough job, ensuring that everything is properly vetted and everything.
Of course, I like to be sure.
I cannot kind of understand. For most, it is the anniversary of the end of a war. For few, it is the anniversary of the death of many. They may take offense to great celebration.
I mean, when it comes to tragic events, it's important to remind ourselves to look forward, to cherish those we lost. I mean, look at Sharn and the celebration of the anniversary held for the Glass Tower. Thousands died when the war started, but even today, decades after, we still pay tribute to them in a day of festivities and respect. So...
And this is a way to give back to those who were affected by unfortunate events.
I'm saying is many might not see it that way. He looks down at the tiny hammer in his hand.
Well, I assure you, the previous years that it's happened, it's pretty much gone by without a hitch. There'll be some, erstwhile cat burglars who attempt to, try and steal some of the things that are, going on auction, but, they usually get nabbed pretty quick by House Thrashk. And, this is on an airship. There's even less of an escape. So it should be pretty much just come by, enjoy some drinks, some hors d'oeuvres, and, be happy with your life.
Malral, go ahead.
Oh, I just figured it'd be a way for me to give you guys a nice night out and, actually put some gold in your pockets for helping save my life.
Malral, if you do not feel comfortable with this missions, then you're more than welcome to stay in this room.
No, I am fine going along. I was simply saying, you brought up the point earlier of any dangers that may come. I was simply bringing in another viewpoint. If it is
Well,
a job, then I will take it seriously.
Of course. And I mean, we've had the fear of nearly falling off a ship before. I mean, it's can't be any worse than that.
Well, so-
I assure
That
you
was
all, you
not-
won't have to worry about that this time around. House Leander has reiterated this is an uncrashable ship.
Real
And-
quick, who's piloting?
I was
I was
not there for your last ship, but I'm sure you have an expert pilot for such an amazing ship.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so long as Kyross isn't the one piloting, I think we'll be just fine.
I don't know a Kyross. I did know that he was involved with a previous contract you all had, but that's the extent of what they shared with me. I believe it's going to be Lord Delavan de Leander is going to be piloting it.
I don't know my family trees. I don't know where that is.
That's at least some sort of reassurance that Kyross will be mostly just there as a guest, if anything.
Yeah, and well, I mean, worst case, what happens? I mean, it's a big fancy boat. There's probably plenty of life. There's probably like lifeboat-sized airships on board. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there. It's a safe assumption. I'm not an airship specialist, but
And you have to remember,
Note to self: prepare featherfall.
you,
Got it.
you have to remember that this voyage is meant for the rich and famous. They would not spare any expense on making sure that they can get away for free, scot-free in anything of the sort.
What's the equivalent to a sky iceberg?
a mountain.
I mean, clouds are just gas glaciers. So I mean, a really big cloud.
Except clouds are usually less hard than most glaciers.
And
Cloud versus ice.
We just accidentally ram into a crystal dragon.
But yeah, so just sign the contracts. I've already been informed that you have acquired suitable attire, and we can head on over to the skiffs.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, I'm looking for a fabulous evening.
If we do have some downtime, Lady Euphoria, I would like to take you up on the dance that I promised.
Oh, well, that would be delightful.
Oh, is there
Paige's
more
ears
dancing?
perking up.
I accidentally stepped on the other lady's shoes all the time. The last dance we went to.
You need some dance lessons, Malral.
I used to dance quite well. It's just I'm used to a partner with smaller feet.
Ah,
And
don't worry, we'll get you in tip-top shape.
someone
Yes.
who's used to my feet being so big.
When we are home next, I'll be sure to throw a little weekly gala of some things where we can all have dance lessons as necessary.
Yeah, like I'm excited to like bust out my moves, and you see Laryssa like fucking drop it like it's hot.
Life is a party, as always,
Uses
Laryssa.
magic to make a spotlight on her.
Booty
yeah, and
popping.
if
The booty pop.
yeah, and if those fancy types don't exactly appreciate it, well, from my experience, there's usually a corner or a balcony or two where there's not many people, so we can always just find our own little space to vibe.
That's the right attitude. All right. Well, as soon as you sign on the dotted line of the GS contract, I'll see that we can head over to the sky dock.
All right. Paige will go over and be the first to sign it after
Yeah.
thoroughly reading the contract.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
the usual.
Yep.
Do you accept the terms and conditions?
Yep.
She reads them. She reads the terms and conditions.
Paige, darling, the party's gonna be
It's
over by the time you're done.
It's 64 pages long.
No. Let her look. She's got to make sure, no matter how long it takes, right?
I usually just, it helps to paraphrase it for Sess.
Mhm.
Paragraph I, subsection B. In the event of a collision, the audience shall be using you as life preservers and cushions for their fall.
Euphoria signs pretty much right away with her very, like, doctor-esque signature.
Mhm.
Okay. I assume everybody signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So with that, the Gia's contracts disappear as they get teleported to wherever they go, and Lord Sivis will rub his hands together. A cane will materialize in his hand. And he goes, "Well then, follow me, ladies and gentlemen."
Following.
Let's go.
All right. As you follow him, Malral, is there any notes you wish to do about your tiny hammer now that you have a chance to not have a fire alarm?
That was from Laryssa dropping it like it was hot, apparently.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Yeah. He once more looks down at the tiny hammer, and he gets a sense of dread from it. Almost. Back in his room when he initially dropped it, he had slowly edged forward to pick it up and make sure if it was even real. And now that he's holding it in his hand once more as he's traveling, it feels heavier than anything else on him. And he's just going to tuck that away in whatever dimensional space adventurers seem to have.
All right. As you guys get up to the sky dock, you see that there are, probably about a dozen or so air skiffs, which is it's a very short range airship that's to ferry things between the sky dock on Sharn itself and any nearby airships, and it probably a nice ways away from Sharn itself, you see the Goliath, because it is a colossal airship. This thing is, easily the size of the storm tempest you guys were inside of when you got its elemental core. It is... You've never seen anything this large in your life. This is like somebody took Sharn and put it on its side and then had it fly.
Oh my goodness, that is big.
They certainly weren't kidding when they said they wanted to make the largest air vessel.
That thing isn't able to float, though.
If it does crash, we won't be floating over a city or nothing, right? I'd hate to have a repeat of,
No. It's too big to fit anywhere near Sharn itself. It's going to be doing a little course around the area and, some of the more beautiful, tranquil vistas that are available to it.
What was the main function of the ship?
Well, I don't know. I don't work for House Leander.
My guess would be some kind of leisure vessel.
From my time in the just working both in the war and as a general smith and medic, maybe I saw airships in my time. Can I see if this is meant for more battle, meant for more leisure, if it's just big because we're rich and we want to make it big?
It looks very airship sized, so it could be potentially fitted with elemental cannons or something, but it doesn't appear to have any weaponry on it. It's it is a bit away from you. It's probably several 100 feet away, floating outside of city limits. And so, but it just appears to be very large. If it did get weapons on it, it would be one of the largest floating fortresses ever to fly above Cover. The sky castles that Brayland used during the war are dwarfed by comparison.
Quite a marvel of technology, at the very least.
What on earth could power it?
Well, I think y'all had a hand in that.
We punched the
Perhaps.
cloud.
That's putting it lightly, but something
Leave
of the
it
sort.
simple and don't think about it. That's
Understood.
because if you let Paige explain it, we ain't getting on that thing in time.
Oh, I mean, it's actually pretty interesting.
And I'm sure all those
jump on our way up.
Malral, listening politely because he's actually kind of curious.
She just doesn't stop talking.
Yep, she talks about airships and everything she knows about airships and how the elemental cores of airships work to power them. And she continues talking as you get onto your air skiff and start taxiing over to the Goliath itself.
There's a moment while Paige is explaining this that Illya kind of has the realization of what exactly happened to make this work in elemental cores and stuff like that. And she kind of just pales a little bit of just like, oh dear God, all of technology is actually based off of basically my elemental matter. Okay.
Just don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard.
You do see
Magic
that
tech is just very advanced forms of enslavement.
That's what sounds like slavery with extra stats. So as you get closer to the ship itself, it basically becomes your whole horizon. Just its massive hull of just expertly sculpted and beautifully arranged architecture and sculptures on it. And you do notice, specifically, everybody but Malral will recognize there is a significantly smaller airship that is actually like attached to this one, which you all recognize as the Silver Lining. So that is Kyross's specific ship.
How's she looking? How's the boat looking?
It looks like there were many hasty repairs and splotches of paint put on it to presumably cover over things to make it more presentable for this. But it's one of those things like when you see somebody put on a lot of really gaudy makeup and it just calls more attention to everything wrong with them. That's basically their attempt to try and spruce up the Silver Lining.
If that's my boat, then I think I'd rather take my chances with the crash.
It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
That's a very astute observation. Yeah.
Why would you put lipstick on a pig?
That wants to feel special.
Well, it's more so a figure of speech, but yeah.
Maybe the pig got its heart broken and wanted to dye its hair, okay?
Well, maybe the pig is really dangerous, and maybe we shouldn't put lipstick on the pig in the first place.
Okay.
This
We're doing
pig sounds like really personally known by you guys.
I'm very confused. Who is the pig?
Oh, do not worry. It's besides the point.
I don't think you're supposed to ask in public who's the pig in the relationship.
Yeah. Should we go say hi though? It's been a while.
Yeah, let's wait, Euphoria, did you tell anybody else about what happened to Jubilee? Because Kyross and Jubilee were very friendly. They were good friends.
Oh, I'm aware.
So does he know?
I have not had the opportunity to bring it up.
So sort of grabs Euphoria by her pinky, and we'll be here to help break the news, okay?
It's I think he's gonna take it pretty hard.
Yeah. All right. Let's we should probably go tell him. Come on. It says sort of just like shoving Euphoria along.
Oh, right at the gate. Okay.
Well, if we tell him in the middle and he has a breakdown in front of, all those fancy types, listen, I don't want to upset his family.
It would be entertaining, though.
No, it would not. Trust me, it definitely would not.
Well, we'll see if we can even find him aboard this enormous vessel, first and foremost. With a ship this size, we may not even cross paths.
You know the man of that airship?
Yeah, that ship there, the pig with the lipstick, that belongs to one Kyross Leander. My daughter Jubilee was in his employment for several years.
Oh, the previous boss.
You could say that. she protected his life on many occasions, because that boy does not have a good head on his shoulders.
Well, that
He
is what
couldn't
they're
even
paid for,
identify
right?
us.
Hard memorizing people's names, but yeah, it was like he wasn't even trying.
I mean, the fact that he didn't know which one of us was Kai Shen, the master of the arena of Sharn,
Mhm.
pretty telling.
Not a sports type. Yeah, so as you guys go along with Ziklos, there's dozens and dozens of House Leander like servant staff here, in their uniforms, taking or providing drinks and hors d'oeuvres to people, providing guidance towards different levels of the ship, etc. This, for ease of reference, this thing is basically the size of a Carnival cruise liner.
Yes.
It is a very big ship, and for at least my players, I can give you a nice little map of it, specifically because it's a Carnival cruise map.
Hey!
um,
Woo!
so
Yeah, be D&D resources.
Oh
Yep.
shit, there's a casino.
But yeah, so if you wish to utilize them, they will tell you that most of the guests are being kind of guided down into the lower levels of the ship, where the casino and ballroom is and stuff, where the auction will be occurring tonight. And so perhaps if you were looking for somebody, they could take you down there and you try and help you find them.
What are some of the things they're going to auction?
There is lots of very rich people things. There's like some apparently some famous mage paintings made from rare dragon shards and materials from Zendrick. There are some statues that have been imported from, some would say stolen, from Drome, that were hand carved by Medusa out of potentially still living people, and other like jewelry and doodads from across the world. And then the creme de la creme of the auction is the world's largest Kyber dragon shard ever discovered, recently brought back from the continent, the mysterious jungle continent of Zendrick, and it is simply referred to as the Heart of Darkness.
That's what they use to power up their house tattoos, isn't it?
No. Dragon shards are, it's hard to explain, but basically like magic mineral things that you can use for other magical purposes.
Can I turn it into a sword?
Yeah, like Kyber is, the Kyber kind is specifically only comes from the equivalent of the Underdark. While like Sybaris dragon shards you can find like on the surface and stuff. They're still rare, but Kyber is rarer.
Kyber crystals? Want to make a lightsaber?
Yep.
I was gonna say.
Make it
I was
lightsabers.
about to pull it up.
I know, but that's what it's called. That's what it's called in Eberron, is Kyber.
Move over Sunblade.
But yeah, so most of these things are worth like several thousand gold at the low end for this auction. So the Heart of Darkness is something, it literally doesn't have a price. It'll be determined by the people auctioning. But
Steal it.
that is kind of, it's all very much above your pay grade of events here, unless you feel like just spending 1,000+ gold on something shiny.
You could flavor text it as a magic item too. Imagine.
Yeah, if you wanted to buy some swag magic item, specifically here, if it's less than like 2,000 gold. What?
You see, what we do is we just bet everything on 31 black on roulette.
No.
And then when we come back as winners, we'll have enough to buy out the whole auction.
Oh no!
Gambling is illegal.
Then why do they have a casino?
Yeah,
They're rich.
not if you're rich enough, it ain't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you wish to buy a magic item of some sort, you can rationalize it as the penny slot equivalent of auctions. But yeah, a House Leander staff will help guide you down into the lower decks as you proceed through this thing. Euphoria, you notice this very specifically because of your specific background as a bodyguard for House Leander. There is no way there are enough air skiffs that you can see on this thing for the number of people that are attending.
Oh.
And there doesn't appear to be any Zephyr packs or anything.
Oh dear. Well, gonna note that. I don't want to cause a panic. Not gonna bring that up just yet, but I will make a
Man,
mental
Euphoria,
note.
I'm so glad that all the servants and like and like workers will have a chance to survive if there's a crash. That's like, hey, oh hey, no more of them are shifters because they're from Sharn, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm sure they all have those special coins that give you feather fall whenever you use them.
Well, those only work in Sharn specifically because
We're going around Sharn, aren't we?
we won't
Well,
be
we're
in
gonna-
Sharn.
We might be high up enough that they might not be effective.
Well, then we'll just have to time it just right.
Well, I mean, why are we planning for the crash? Like he said, like Kyross isn't driving it. You know, it's a big ass airship, so you know.
Right, it's not gonna crash. Why would it crash?
Yeah, and if
That
it
one,
does,
like-
we could all just jump at the last second, and then it'll be fine. Yeah.
It's not like
We
it
all
would have any
think like
faulty.
this.
You know, we're acting really morbid for a really nice night out. So you know what? Fuck it. No, it's a nice night. We're being treated well. You know, I think let's drop the morbid thoughts and let's just get out there and have fun. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Great idea.
Laryssa
Anyways, oh
immediately-
hey, there's Kyross.
Laryssa flags down a waiter and immediately grabs double-fisting champagne floats.
Malral grabs one too.
And
Clinks against her drinks.
Good job.
Paige, our job quite literally
But,
is to have fun.
But yes, Cess was accurate. As you are being led down, you see at a bar, you see a man, a half-elf man with an eye patch, and a very displeased-looking half-elf woman standing next to him wearing very fancy, Sky-Captain and First Mate uniforms, as the male is talking to just a human, waitress and stuff at the bar, and is like, "Did you know I was personally responsible for the very construction of this ship? Yes, myself and my intrepid crew were able to wrangle the mighty Tempest into our hands and bring it to service humanity. Isn't that glorious? Basically, I am somewhat responsible for this night even happening."
Also, you're responsible for enslaving a giant elemental. Got it.
Y'all are.
So,
Last I checked, Kyross, I think we had a hand in it.
oh, Illya, pleasure to see you again.
I don't even believe that you knew me by that name at the time.
What are you
Quiet,
talking about, Cess?
I see what's going on. Okay, I'm stepping back. Thank you.
How did you lose your eye?
What do you mean?
You have an eye patch.
No,
Oh.
please don't ask him about it.
It is the secret of my incredible power. As he puts one hand over his eye patch and throws his other hand back, like Super Chudy.
Malral just goes ahead and he just flips up the eye patch.
You see that it is an eye with a dragon mark on it.
Lucina.
Ah, neat.
Don't touch it! God, who even are you?
I'm
Right,
Malral.
Kyross, we should do introductions. We've kind of undergone some staff changes since our last job. This is Malral, our local cleric, smith. It's very unclear on which title he prefers.
a
Fruling is now Illya.
And of
please make
course,
sure-
I know Lady Euphoria Cox. It is Always a pleasure. As he
Aw.
he bows low and goes to kiss your hand.
I'm sure. She like puts her hand out just enough for him to like barely get down there to kiss, and then she immediately whips it right back.
Too slow.
And as he stands back up, his eye patch is on his other eye. Um,
God.
where's Jubilee? I find it surprising to see you here, of course. I am aware that Lord Ravamont and his wife is attending deeper within the vessel, but I expected, of course, that Jubilee would be here with her plucky little friends.
You you might want to sit back down, darling, while we explain a few things.
Kind of laughs nervously. All right, if you say so.
When you last saw Jubilee, did she look different than you recalled?
Well, I talked to Jubilee about all of that, and she assured me that she was perfectly fine with what she was doing, and I, of course, would love her just the same, regardless of how she looks.
Well, it seems that the forces that affected those physical changes came with a contractual obligation to stay in the Feywild.
That's that's ridiculous. She assured me that it was something she had perfectly under control. I only spoke to her a few weeks ago, and after and then she sent me that letter, and I. What do you mean, Feywild? Why would she do that? She would have told me.
I don't think this was something she was necessarily preparing for. She didn't tell a lot of people, myself included.
None of us, in fact.
Well, when is she coming back, of course? I imagine it was, she'll be back in no time.
Rose, I'm doing everything that I can to get her back, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Kind of his what visible eye blinks several times, and kind of he kind of does the fish mouth thing several times as is processing. What? So she's just gone?
Yes. She's an archfey of the Wild Hunt now.
Archfey? Did you all try and stop her? Did you know about this?
With the one chance we got, we tried everything we could think of.
She had already made up her mind.
Even this thing heard about it and I didn't?
Thing.
Listen, Malral, be easy on him. He's hurting. Breaking that news, we broke it to Euphoria, and we just figured things would come up as they came up. But no, Jubilee was an important friend to you, and you had every right to know about it as soon as we could have told you. It's just, I hope in your pain you understand that it was a lot for us too.
How long ago did this happen?
Not a thing.
Just a few weeks.
Although actually it's been like 2 months
Month and a
at this point
half,
because
yeah,
because of
yeah.
Fae travel. Um,
I'm trying to soften the blow
Yeah.
as best as I can.
few weeks. Why wouldn't she tell me? She should know. I would hear anything she has to say, and I would have done anything I could to help her. I told her that.
We offered the same, but it still was not enough.
But
I
her
don't
was a
know.
transaction, and she thought the price was well worth what she would receive.
I don't know. I can't know exactly what was going through her mind leading up to that choice. But I can't believe that. I still can't believe that she would make this decision knowing it would hurt so many people that loved her. So that's why I'm doing everything I can to bring her back.
We will bring her back.
He looks very physically or very visibly pained by all of this. So she's just gone.
For now, yes.
In a faraway place.
I had told her if she wanted, she could fly the world with me. If that's what she wanted, I would have taken her anywhere.
It
She
was not about the place to go see. It was about protecting those she liked.
Mm. She claims that this was the only way to protect us. It's the best that she could.
Protect everyone she cared about. And I'm sure she thought of you all making that decision.
And it chews on his lower lip for a second and goes, I hope she did think of me. Well, if there is anything I can do to help you all in her retrieval, just let me know, and my ship and I and my crew will be at your services.
I would appreciate not being called a thing.
All right. You.
I said my name. It is Malral. This is the second time I've said it now.
Ah, yes, Malpal. I understand.
He doesn't get.
It's
Well-
not going to. It's
Well,
With that band-aid off. Yeah, Euphoria?
I was just going to accept your offer, and if anything comes up that we will need your assistance with, we'll be in contact.
The powers of your house could find any way to manage interdimensional travels, then we'll be more than happy to work together.
Unfortunately, it's House Orion which usually deals with teleportation and such things. And I'm sure you are all very aware that your connections to House Orion are no longer of this world.
What do you mean?
I thought it was obvious. Maybe this happened before you fell in with them, but, I was informed in a letter by Jubilee, as to certain behaviors one Cliff Dorian had done in violation of the contracts, and before my house was able to take legal action against House Orion, we were informed he was killed in some kind of lightning rail accident.
what?
Cliff to
Was-
Orion is dead?
Yes, but was Cliff your friend? Just answer that for us. Even after him spilling the secrets on that last quest, was he a
I
friend?
tried to give Cliff the benefit of the doubt for Jubilee's sake, but after reading her letter, I knew that my initial impressions of him over the years were always correct, and he was never somebody to be trusted.
Well, even a tragedy like that aside, how does one violate a contract? It's magically binding.
That is what my house has ensured the directorate to look into. But unfortunately, the trail back to House Orion cannot be delved into further. And supposedly not even being able to speak with dead was able to communicate with the erstwhile Deorian.
Kyross, oh god.
No, you go ahead.
Kyross Euphoria, I know it sounds really confusing, but if this specific question is important to you two, like extremely so, then I don't think any of us would mind, maybe at a later date, probably not here, to talk more about Cliff. But for now, I think for the sake of all of our sanities and for the fact that we've already had a hurtful topic, we should probably put a pin on Cliff for now and focus on tonight. Yeah?
Yeah.
Very well.
Well, I guess I've got another drink with my name on it. And two in light of this discussion. But I hope you have a wonderful evening, and tell Lord Ravamont and his wife that he is always appreciated by the house.
Malral leans down to Euphoria and whispers in her inner ear, "Should I tell him about the ability to message Jubilee?"
Oh, I'm not sure if that would be helpful right now. We'll let him chew on this a little bit.
Malral nods and stands back up.
All right. Do you guys wish to proceed deeper into the ship?
Yeah, I
Sure.
think so. Yeah.
We should
Okay.
look around the whole place.
Okay. As you get deeper inside of the ship, you eventually will arrive at the the grand casino ballroom where you see probably a couple hundred people, all finely attired, wearing military uniforms or noble uniforms with symbols of different kingdoms, different organizations, the various dragon marked houses, and they're being attended by a great deal of waitstaff as there is a stage on the other side elevated above the room. Ziklos will look up at you guys and go like, well, I'm gonna go around and do some mingling, but you're free to do so as well, or just enjoy yourselves.
You sure you wouldn't want one of us around to, do our job?
Well, if you're so inclined, but I feel like the most dangerous thing here is a particularly barbed tongue rather than a sharp blade.
Euphoria thinking back to the number of lifeboats, just like, oh boy, I hope so.
Malral, hearing barbed tongue, and can't help but look at the two cat shifters.
Wow.
That's
thing, right?
profiling, buddy.
Cats literally have spiky tongues.
Yeah. Your entire body is barbed, alright? Let's not get into it.
It's actually ridged for her pleasure.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, yo!
But yeah, so is there anything anybody wants to do specifically? You want to go talk to some random people? You want to hang out and grab drinks? Like, what would you like to do? In the background, there's kind of the initial stages of the auction happening, where just some of the lower end items and stuff are happening. People are less drawn to that part.
I know-
What's Laryssa doing? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What's Laryssa doing?
She is continuing to pound champagne. You see
Like
her
a
start to like
professional.
shimmy around the ballroom as she's grabbing champagne and just kind of like doing some dances with it as she's like just knocking them back.
Oh, she's here to party. Malral will go, hey, you want to come with me to the casino and see how many we can play around with?
Hell yeah, everything on black.
That's my girl.
All right, so Malral and Laryssa are gonna go do some ambient gambling. Euphoria, what would you like to do? I'm gonna go around the table kind of clockwise.
I know that we literally just talked to him, but
she
she still has some closure to find with Kyross, so she's gonna seek him out to talk to him.
Okay. Also, as you guys approach, you do see, mostly because you know what they look like, you do see the finely attired Lord Augustus Baneshield Ravamont and Lady Oriana Ravamont.
Yep, she's avoiding them so bad.
Out of the ballroom, chit-chatting, standing next to a House Leander, like, half-elf of some status, who Euphoria would recognize as one of the, probably upper mid-tier. So he's probably here half on work, half as a guest, but they are just kind of chatting to some of the other dignitaries. Illya.
Before Euphoria walks away, Illya's going to tap her on the shoulder, seeing her general frown at at Augustus and Oriana, and just be like, if you want to show them up, the offer still stands. I'll be here for you.
She'll look over at Illya and just give a little wink, like, all right, I'll take you up on that offer. Be back in 2 shakes.
Perfect. I'll be waiting.
Paige, what would you like to be doing?
I want to take a closer look at any of the items for auction, seeing if maybe there's something of note or something that something that sticks out in particular.
Okay. And Cess, what would you like to be doing?
I want to do a thing with Kyross, but I'm more than happy to just wait and go last. Because Euphoria said first, and also Euphoria needs to run away from her ex, so I can wait.
Okay. Euphoria, we'll start with you as the first conversation. So you see a much more deflated Kyross with his cousin, just kind of sitting off, or I guess at this point kind of standing off at kind of the back of the ballroom and stuff, looking very mopey. Not really talking.
She'll approach and kind of stand next to him, like, may I have a word, Kyross?
Oh, Lady Cox, of course. What else can I help you with?
I wanted to apologize for not thinking about you and how you might feel about the situation. It was wrong of me to not keep you informed. I know that Juby meant a lot to you.
Kind of just is kind of absentmindedly like turning a whiskey glass like just rotating the glass slightly as he's kind of looking at you and goes, I am, you know how it is. I understand you not considering, previous employer. What would I care about the continuing ons of my former bodyguard? Yeah, I can see why it may not have been terribly relevant to you.
Kyross, I've been watching you grow up with Juby since you were children. I know puppy love when I see it.
Gives you that, like, caught with his hand in the cookie jar, childish look at that. It was, you knew this? What? What?
Darling, you weren't exactly subtle about it.
Well,
It's for that reason I have to apologize for something else. You see, it was mine and Augustus's decision to separate the two of you.
What? Why?
Quite frankly, Kyross, you don't have a stellar reputation among the noble families. And we worried about the influence you might have on Jubilee. We were concerned that, given your flirtatious nature, that our little girl might fall for someone bad for her.
I have always had the utmost respect and love towards Jubilee. I would never do anything ill towards her. Even after everything, and she told me that she just didn't see us that way, I still would do anything for her. She's Jubilee.
She gives a sad but kind of a heartfelt smile. Just, you really liked her, huh?
I loved her with every fiber of my being, and I'm sorry that I didn't make her. I didn't convey that to her well enough.
She gives him a pat on his shoulder. Just, I'm sorry to have doubted your character and for the part that I played in the separation. I thought I was doing what was best for her, but that wasn't my choice to make.
He's kind of slumped and he goes, No, I understand. That's what everybody sees me as. Kyross is just that fool who can fly a ship really well, except when he crashes it, and why would anybody want their daughter to wind up with somebody like that? I know what the world looks at me as, and I'm just I know that she at least didn't quite see me that way.
No. She thought the world of you. I wanted to clear the air and apologize.
I appreciate it.
You're a good boy, Kyross. Don't let anyone make you think otherwise.
You know, I might have to make you sign an affidavit and provide that to my father.
Consider it done.
Bourbon?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Gestures over a waiter. And gives you a drink and doesn't really have much to say as, just quietly, shares a drink.
She'll sort of tip her glass to him, knock it back, slide the glass back to the bartender, and look at Kyross. Just, I'm gonna get her back. And that's all she has left to say on the matter. She'll depart.
Yep. As he looks at her walk away, he kind of shouts over the crowd and goes, "And let me know if there's anything I can do."
She'll give a little wave of acknowledgement.
All right. Illya, I've already forgotten what you were gonna do.
Oh, dance with Euphoria.
Dance
to
with
make
Euphoria.
Augustus jealous.
Yes. So you're gonna go dance with Euphoria.
Classic plan. Nothing can go wrong.
Yep.
No, nothing can go wrong. Sweet, hopping into that one then?
Sure.
Yeah, so Euphoria will rejoin with the others, or at least if everyone's already started to split off, she'll just retrace her steps back to where she was previously.
Alrighty. Well, I think Illya is probably just there. She is softly sipping a glass of wine, just kind of like trying to maintain as much of a professional state as possible, looking at how Laryssa is already knee deep in champagne.
Woo!
It's just trying to look around, see what's going on, but just overall keep an eye out and look the part. As
She's
best
blowing
as she
on people's dice.
I was just like, yeah. Gonna go 31 on black. Here we go.
Euphoria will walk up to Illya, just be like, what you drinking? I'll probably have one too.
Just Pinot Noir, something simple.
Sure, yeah. Signal over some closest waiter with any beverage.
A waiter provides you with a glass of champagne.
Oh, I just had a not fun conversation with poor Kyross, but necessary, I think.
Didn't seem to take the whole situation very well.
No, I should say he didn't. But anyone who cared for Juby in the slightest would probably feel the same way.
We all felt similarly, but
I think you promised me a dance.
Indeed I did.
I could use a little levity.
Little levity coming right up, Sin. And she'll knock back the rest of the wine just to make sure that it's out of her hands and set it down before stepping out into the dance floor and offering Euphoria her hand.
She'll take it and head on over to the dance floor. I think probably as before, Euphoria will take the lead and do one of those like socialite dances where you're actually
Oh.
like skirting the outside of the dance floor so you make as much eye contact with people as possible, like scanning the room.
As you do that, you see Augustus starts sputtering and spitting out bourbon as he sees you. And Oriana, just the scowl of disgust she gives you.
Flashes the big toothy grin and a big old wink towards Augustus.
And you see Oriana just start, like, swearing at Augustus in Infernal.
Do a quick spin around, make sure to show that Illya is very much smiling into this and having a fabulous time with Lady Euphoria.
I hate that you have to be a tool in a attempt to make my ex-husband jealous, but I appreciate the offer.
Well, it's not just about being a tool for that. I think it's more about making sure that we are all here having a lovely time and that they know just as well as anybody is that we're getting along just fine.
I think we get along just fine. And it's a pleasure to dance with you again.
A pleasure always, my darling. Do you feel satisfied in knowing that they are fuming?
Maybe one more circle around.
One more? No, of course. I'd be willing to dance as long as you would like.
I hate to rub it in their face, that I'm doing quite well on my own, but
I think you would love to rub it in their face if I'm reading you correctly.
Maybe just a little bit. Mm.
Just do another circle.
Okay,
And-
how angry does Oriana look?
I do not exactly know, but I do believe that Inferno is a distant cousin of Celestial, so, doesn't seem to be too good.
Well, if we inch a little closer, I'll be able to translate.
Mm-hmm. How about this? I will lean into your chest and make sure that I look as comfortable as possible, just so we can get a nice, good read on the situation. Perfect.
As you...
And Illya blushes a little bit as she leans in just to look very comfortable in the situation, making sure to...
For science.
For science, of course.
obviously.
Mhm.
Yes, and as you get near them, you see the Augustus in heavily accented Infernal is like trying to calm down Oriana, basically being like, I didn't know she was going to be here. If I had, I would have arranged something. I don't know why she's with our daughter's former, companion.
I'm just gonna say, like, out loud as I'm leaned in here, just as the Viscount of Shea Laura Lindier, I'm just so happy to be in your presence, Lady Euphoria Cox.
Oh, of course, and it's such a delight to be in such distinguished company.
Very much.
You're such a good dancer. I haven't always had such graceful partners.
Oh, well, when you're living the high life with balls and galas every day, you just have to know what you're doing around the fancy folk.
Yeah, Oriana is just... She grabs Augustus by the wrist and just yanks him through the crowd. His 5'4" self getting yanked along by his 6'3" wife.
As soon as they leave, Euphoria just cracks up. Like she can't hold it in any
Illya
longer.
can't either.
It just I think I saw steam coming out of her ears.
Well, you tieflings do tend to have a bit of a... You tend to run a little bit hot,
I'm
but,
sure she was fuming.
we do like it that way sometimes.
Thank you, Illya. This was fun. Frankly, I would have dreaded having to socialize with the two of them on my own.
Of course. And I know, given that what you have told me, at least of your experiences, that may not have been the most amicable situation. So finding a way to relax and let loose a little bit, you know?
Amicable? No, but professional. Usually. So
Not everything
incidents
has,
like this aside.
not everything has to be professional in your life, my dear. Do take a load off every once in a while.
I'll try. It's best to keep folks at arm's length.
You know, maybe that's something that I should learn a bit more about, but I can't help but smile when I'm with those who are close to me. It just means the world to have people.
You always this smooth a talker with everybody? Or am I just a special exception?
I certainly tried to be a smooth talker whenever I was out and about, had to get the job done, as I'm sure you know.
Mm,
But I will say that before, well, everything, no, I was not the smooth talker that you see today. A little nervous, scared, but always had someone by my side to help me push through.
no. Wallflower. Come to fully blossom. Let's do another round around the dance floor.
Of course, my dear, anything for you.
And they'll keep dancing.
Okay. So as you keep on dancing, Cess, what would you like to do? Cess is probably muted.
Says is muted.
Yep. Are you available right now, Cess?
Cess is now unmuted.
Oh no, they're dead.
Unmuted
Hello?
but not talking.
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, yes.
The mic. I'm just gonna lower the sensitivity a little bit. All right. Can you guys hear me now? Just fine.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Apologies. All right. So let me just close my door real quick. So Kyross, sees Euphoria walk up to Kyross and is like, "All right, well, maybe not double up on the lad." So she's going to just chill out until she sees Euphoria go off and dance with Illya, which is really nice, and then realizes that it's her chance to go talk to Kyross. As I walk to the bar, how does Kyross look? Better or worse than when I last saw him?
He looks comparable. His pluses and minuses of the Euphoria conversation kind of balanced out.
Okay. But his shoulders are a tad heavier, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's just quietly drinking his bourbon.
All right, Spike. We're gonna try something, and you are not. Well, I mean, you can't tell anyone, but you shouldn't. Says I'm gonna go off to the bathroom really quick. And she's gonna command Spike to change both her dress and a little bit of her hair, if possible, and give her like a little masquerade mask.
Okay.
Her hair like curls to the sides, and her dress now has a very like unique white patterned streak across it. And I'm gonna go. Is Sierra with Kyross right now, or has she finally fucked off after?
She's kind of meandered off to go make her appearances, but she did seem to be looking concerned towards Kyross. Like she's actually, kind of trying to watch over her cousin to make sure he's doing okay, because he went from 100 to 0 pretty quick tonight.
Okay. Says I'm gonna walk up and take a seat next to Kyross. Go. Hey there, mister. Mind if I ask for your name?
Oh, looks you over. His eye patch is once again switched eyes. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Sky-Captain Kyross de Leander.
A captain, huh? Oh, you in charge of this ship here tonight, or? Because I'd be a little concerned if you're not at the helm.
No, I wish I was, but alas, my family did not seem to think that this would be quite my time to rise to the occasion.
It's fine. I mean, all great things come in time. Oh, I should introduce myself. I'm so sorry. I'm just, a little bad at the whole talking thing. Just for tonight, you can call me Shani, okay?
Shani, pleasure to meet you, Shani. You can call me Kyross, I guess.
You look awfully sad over here by yourself, Kyross.
Oh,
Is there something on your mind?
it's just been a rather weighty evening. You know, such are the burdens of command as a sky captain.
Well, weight on a ship does not sound good, especially for one in the sky. So, how about this? And she wraps her arms around his left arm, pushes the drink aside, and goes, "Take me around the ship for a little bit."
R- really? You want me to show you around the ship?
You really want to waste a chance like this? Come on.
I kind of looks around for his cousin and goes, sure. He downs his bourbon and kind of straightens up his captain's jacket again and goes, all right, well, I guess I can give you a bit of a tour. You know that I did basically single-handedly lead to this ship's development.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, if you let me get past this point. Yes, I was involved in capturing the mighty elemental tempest core that was used to power this old ship, and bring it here for this lovely evening.
You captured it? Does it want to be here?
Oh, I don't really know how it feels. Never really come up before. From what I understand, they just kind of exist when they're being used for their cause.
Well, I mean, a man as awfully adventurous as you should know, yeah? Oh, well, I mean, worst case, you'll find out later, yeah?
Ha yes. I'm sure that it will not be a problem. I've been assured by only the finest engineers that this ship is indeed uncrashable. Not even somebody could not even crash it if they tried.
I mean, that's awfully comforting to hear, but I'm not really worried about it crashing. I mean, you're a good pilot, right? You're wearing the jacket, and it's your family doing it, right?
Oh, of course, I'm the finest pilot in all of the House Leander.
And I'm sure whoever's doing it can't be worse than you. So come on.
Well,
Let's just focus on relaxing tonight.
There's no accounting for, taste, I would say, but I can assure you that my dear uncle is indeed quite a capable pilot in his own right.
Well, I'll take your word for it since it's yours. And I'd imagine like Kyross would just take Shani around the ship to different parts, showing off and explaining it, and eventually Shani would be like, "Hey, do you want to like dance somewhere more private? I don't feel comfortable shaking my two left feet in front of all these people."
Ooh, you want to dance somewhere private?
Like a balcony, big boy. Nothing too serious now.
Of course. I was just trying to consider the optimal logistics of where to dance.
Come on, I think I see a good balcony this way. Come on. She leads him by the hand over to the balcony.
Okay.
On an airship?
It's
It's
not
a
like
big ass fancy airship.
yeah. Have you ever been on like a cruise ship? There's like top deck and stuff.
Yeah,
all I can imagine is just, boy, it sure is windy out here, isn't it?
They're rich, they're magic, they're fancy. They could afford some anti-wind turbulence thing.
Yeah. But yeah, you go up top deck.
So, Mr. Kyross, did you get heartbroken recently? I don't know. I've been to the bar myself and down a few bourbon before, and well, you looked awfully like me when I was like that.
I see you are as astute as you are lovely. I recently discovered that one of my kind of looks wistfully off for the distance for a bit. One of my good friends has disappeared, and it has me worried, and apparently has others worried as well.
They just disappeared? Not
They-
much more to it than that?
They made a choice and have decided to wander to places where we cannot find them.
Yeah, I can certainly relate to not being someone's first choice either. I mean, not to say that she didn't think about you or nothing, but I've been there is all I'm trying to say.
I it's it's really hard to think that she's gone. I've always, thought the world of her as a friend, and
You can
the
say more than a friend. I won't get jealous. I'm just a girl you've hung it out with a night.
I I loved her quite dearly ever since we were children, and but she told me she didn't feel the same, and while it hurt, I understood. But then I found out that she just left, and she didn't feel the need to tell me. And she knew and that I would do anything for her, and if there was something troubling her, she could have told me, and I would have moved heaven and earth to appear before her and be able to guide her. What? Why wouldn't she tell me? I just that's the hardest part about it all is just why? Why not? Did I did I do something wrong? I thought we had left on such good terms with each other, and I and then she was
Shawnee,
just gone.
Shawnee interrupts him and
Yeah.
puts her right hand upon his cheek and rubs it very gently against his stubble. No one said you did anything wrong there, sweetie. Okay? I'm sure you meant a lot to her. Now, I can't speak as to what was happening when she made that decision. Maybe she thought of you, maybe she didn't. But all that you need to know is you offered that girl everything and she didn't take it, right? You need to offer yourself everything too, okay? When I got left behind, it took me a while to realize I should just focus on what I had and not what I couldn't get. And well, I'm not there, but I'm trying to be there and choose things that make me feel nice, like dancing with a really handsome young man under the moonlit sky.
Yeah, kind of chuckles as he's wiping some tears off his cheeks and from under his eye patch, and goes, I'm sorry. I'm sure it's not very dashing to see me cry right now, but I I really appreciate it, Shawnee. Yeah, but I guess I just don't really feel like talking about myself for once. Who left you behind? I can't imagine anyone would ever leave somebody who's seemingly so caring and beautiful behind.
Just someone who wanted to make a name for herself. And that name didn't involve me, was all. It was a
Well,
long time ago.
they were certainly an idiot, I can tell you that.
Well, people like us would know plenty about that, yeah?
You know what they say, fools and romantics.
Well, right now, like I said, I just want to focus on what feels good, and she like pulls them in closer, and like their heads are like side to side as they can be, despite height difference.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just be like this for a little while, okay?
All right. All right. You're a surprisingly good listener.
It's easy to listen to people that deserve it.
And he just kind of, pulls Cesset a little closer as he just leans against her and looks at the, night sky and the stars and everything.
And I'd like to imagine that they remain like that for a little while before Says senses that like Spike is having trouble keeping things up. And she gives him a little kiss on the cheek and tells him, well, I gotta go now, okay?
Yes, I'm sure you've got something to do and someone to see. Will I ever see you again, I guess?
If you can find me, cutie. And she wanders off past the balcony's drapes and then just immediately shifts back into Says. And I'd like to imagine Kyross comes out and asks Says, where did she go?
Yeah. I was a linger out for a bit for dramatic effect before dashing back in. And he sees Says and he goes,
Spider-Man anywhere?
Illya, did you see a woman come through here, white streak dress kind of thing?
I mean, lots of ladies and guys around there wearing white streaked dresses, Kyross. You'd have an easier time finding a needle in a haystack.
Well, she had kind of a little masquerade motif going on.
These noble types wear whatever they think is fancy. Your cousin was like looking for you though, I think. Maybe like for introductions. I know you've been beating yourself up, but appearances and all that, yeah.
Oh, yes. I guess I should go attend to Syra. Well, if you happen to see her, her name is Sharny, and tell her that I can give her a drink or something.
I will. Good luck finding your midnight lover.
And he will kind of swagger back.
And says it's gonna take a minute to like just wall up, like lean against the wall and just like breathe.
All right. And with that, your pal Malral, as you are gambling away, you do see over by the tables there is a group of uniformed Karnathi officers, and standing in the midst of them is a very tall woman who her skin is a kind of like golden sewn together patchwork of like different colorings and stuff. But she does appear to have at least two different types of skin forming elf ears, as she is wearing a immaculate Karnathi commander's uniform, and standing next to her, shaking some dice enthusiastically, is a very pale, light green, seemingly very short orc. She is probably about a 5'2" orc with long, kind of like almost dwarven style braids, and bright red eyes, as she is shaking these dice and like throwing them down. And she is also wearing a Karnathi commander's uniform over a suit of very immaculately crafted full plate. And both of them have symbols of the blood of Vol on their personage. And yeah, you see her go, come on, black. Damn it, fucking sixes again. God damn it.
Malral will go ahead and gesture with Laryssa, more drinks in his hand. He's like, want to head over to that table?
Looks like it's easy pickings.
Yeah, let's go.
Goes over and sits down at the table. And what are they playing? They're playing you said dice?
Yeah, they're doing craps.
Ah, crabs. Yeah. I'll see if I can't get it on that.
All right. Yeah, as you're rolling in it, the short orc kind of starts cursing in orc as the elf kind of puts her hand on her shoulder and stuff. And the rest of the Cardathi officers kind of chuckle and laugh at everything.
Don't you know you need to bet on red?
Points at his own red scales.
She looks at you, and she's got those bright, some would say blood red eyes, as she kind of gives you a big smile where she's got her clearly orcish tusks, but also very, very accentuated fangs, as she kind of laughs and goes and points at her own eyes and goes, well, you see, I'm always trying to get on red, but it's just not working for me. Maybe because I'm playing with dice, but I don't know.
Well, maybe if it's both our lucky colors, it'll work out better.
I like to think that, there is safety in numbers, but I don't know if luck comes in numbers.
We can try.
All right, whatever. Whatever the fuck this guy says. Come on. Hey, wait, what's your name?
Name's Malral, and yours?
I have to make sure I know which is which, because they're a couple, and I have to get their names right. There we go. She goes, pleasure to meet you. She has the dice shaking in her left hand as she extends out her right hand to shake your hand. She goes, Ezmerelda, pleasure to meet you.
Ezmerelda? I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, oh, my reputation precedes me.
No, I just haven't heard anyone name that in a long time.
She looks at the elf and goes, see, this guy's got jokes,
Goes ahead and shakes her hands like,
and you, madam?
looks up at the very taller one. You said the elf with two ears?
Yeah, well, she's got elf ears, but they're multi-skin tones. All of her visible skin is a woven together patchwork of different skin and skin colorings. And she kind of, gives you a handshake that she doesn't seem to be very strong, but you feel just like a bit weaker when she touches you. And she goes, I'm Kalina, and I see you've already met my wife.
You two are definitely the most unique couple I've seen here yet so far. And I mean that in the best regards.
Usually when people refer to me, they are never speaking in best regards, says Ezmerelda.
I like things that are different. I prefer things that stand out over things that blend in, and I'm happy to see such eye-catching figures as yourselves.
Well,
He says as he throws some dice.
Yeah, you definitely stand out. Did you serve?
That's right.
Fuck yeah. Pleasure to meet you. Obviously, you can see from the uniforms. I was we fought with Karnath during the war. Whose side were you on? Presumably somebody less awesome.
You could say that. My side didn't quite make it out.
She lets out a whistle. Siren. Gotcha. Damn shame about how all that panned out.
Memory still fresh in his mind from pages. Flashback.
Damn shame indeed.
Yeah, but you gave it good up until you couldn't no more. That's something to be proud of. I was once, in Seer. We were campaigning, and we found ourselves at a little roadside tavern, and there was this real cute halfling girl there, and you know what I said then. Maybe this country ain't so bad after all. Maybe it'd be better under obviously better management, but obviously, and then all of the Carnathi soldiers like join in at once, and he goes, and then obviously I proceeded in proper military fashion to bring that girl to the low ready, and they all laugh at once in unison, as if it's some weird inside joke.
There's one thing about my old stomping ground is you definitely never want to look down on the little ones.
Yeah, I can say I prefer when they look up. And you just see the elf kind of just like roll her eyes. But
I was a medic back in the day.
oh shit. So was Kalina.
Is that right?
Yeah, fucking Callie read that, right? Yeah, you used to heal everybody. Yeah. He goes, yes, I was among many of my other duties. I did heal.
Oh, many other duties. I get that. They learned I can both forge and heal, and they worked me to the bone. They did not want to let me go.
I can imagine that. You look like you're made of thick stuff. I can imagine your equipment to be at least sizable, if not durable.
Well, let's just say it would be very problematic if I were to fall down a hill.
I imagine that the true person to suffer under that would be whoever has to bear the weight of the end of that fall.
I like to say that I'm warm because of my lineage, but no, it's mostly just the fat. Keeps everything inside.
Nice layer of padding. I get it. I'm just glad you
And
made it.
while they're talking, I'm just waiting for Laryssa behind them to like constantly try and give me like a different angle, or I don't know. I don't play crabs. This is the one casino game I don't play.
She has no idea what she's doing either, but she is convincing lots of people to make really stupid bets, mostly for fun. But yeah, it's just it's great to see another vet here. Most of these people just a bunch of fucking stuck up fucking nobles and profiteers and shit. Somebody who actually knew what it was like. It's good to know that some of you actually made it out of the fucking war.
Less than I would have liked.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Not all of us were gifted with a second and eternal tour of duty. She kind of laughs.
Raises an eyebrow at that.
Oh, sorry. I guess I should also, introduce who I'm here on behalf of. Callie and I, we lead the Carnathi Eternal Veterans Association. For all of those soldiers who gave their final sacrifice, but didn't want to, quit doing the nation's work.
Ah, that explains it.
It explains my devilish good looks.
Yes, actually.
Don't worry, I don't bite much.
Might I guess? I am not too well versed. Vampire?
Yeah.
And
Give this man a gold piece.
Looking at the taller one,
I'm afraid I am unversed in that. I don't know precisely what type you might be.
Oh, Callie, can't figure out what type you are. Is this what you're telling me? I'm not your type anymore? Callie just kind of shakes her head and goes,
She does look interchangeable.
I'm a lich. We both decided that we had more than one life that we wished to give for our country. So we went upon our own path of ascension under the blood of Vol, and well, here we are ever since.
Can't get enough of this life, so you keep having it forever.
What she doesn't fucking tell you is the real reason why we did this is because one life just wasn't enough to love me, now wasn't it? As she just like goes over and starts hugging Callie and like kind of scrunching her cheeks.
Congratulations, both of you. It is good to see a healthy couple continue on forever.
Well, I
Well,
assure you, we are
not-
far from healthy at this point.
I was about to say not entirely healthy.
And Ezmerelda goes, you know what, fuck it. Drinks all round. Drinks. And just flags down a waiter and just basically steals his tray and starts passing it out to all the soldiers.
Laryssa, none for you. This is like your 7th class.
So, to raises her drink, he goes, to the fallen, those who can't be here tonight.
To the fallen. May they forever rest wherever they may be.
Everybody kind of nods. Ezmerelda pours out one of the glasses of champagne onto the ground, not caring, and then everybody takes a drink. And as you guys drink and Paige looks over the various auctioning bids, we're gonna come to a special note about Paige next time.
What?
We're just at about time, so this is probably a good place to end for tonight.
Oh, man.
You broke your
I know-
sister's heart. You broke your ex's heart. I think you've had enough for one day, young lady.
I know roulette. I know blackjack. I know
Uh.
slots. I know poker. You put me on the one game I don't know. Craps.
But
Did you know craps and Eberron is Earth Blackjack? Anyway.
I hope you all had fun tonight. I hope you had fun watching. If you haven't done so already, please go check out these wonderful players under the exclamation point players thing. They're all awesome streamers in their own right. Also, you can check all the previous episodes of this series on the YouTube as well as on my YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. Give me a sub over on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. We will be back here this Wednesday for some art practice, but I cannot wait to see you then. Litro, I believe there is an announcement you want to do since you didn't get to do your introduction before we head off.
No, sadly not, because I had to deal with car trouble. But hey, look on the bright side. I don't have to pay $300 for that anymore.
Yay.
What's the
Uh,
Saturday, Litro?
This Saturday, for those of you who love TTRPGs and other role-playing fantasy games such as this, come by on Azura Azure Dragoons channel on Saturday at noon EST time. We will be doing a brand new campaign called the Lucid Spire for Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Who's the DM of that game?
That would be me.
Wow.
I am the DM. I am the DM, and it will be on Azura's channel. And again, that is Azure, the Azure Dragon, as the channel. And it has amazing people such as Phoebe the Goblin. We got White the Cat. We got Wona. We got Rocky. Myself, and of course Azura, and many other amazing people, and B as well.
Ah, bees nuts, let's go. Yes, definitely go check that out, everybody. It should be exciting. All right, we are gonna go raid Cobalt Sprig. She's a very cute kobold, although tonight she looks very goblin-y. I don't know what the deal is, but she's playing Overwatch too, but she's a very good bean. And if you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the knight's message. As we're gonna go wish the little cutie pie a nice hello. She is very sweet. She also likes D&D, so let's go send her some love. All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.